Robert Mitchum remains one of Hollywood's most enduring icons, a man whose presence on screen was as magnetic as it was enigmatic. Born Robert Charles Durr Mitchum on August 6, 1917, in Bridgeport, Connecticut, he experienced hardship early in life. The death of his father left his mother to raise 3 children during the Great Depression, instilling resilience and toughness in young Robert. His life was marked by rebellion, adventure, and a search for authenticity, qualities that would later define his performances. Mitchum's story is not just about stardom, it's about a life shaped by struggle, grit, and an unwavering sense of self. Early life and struggles. Mitchum's teenage years were defined by restlessness and hardship. He drifted across the United States, hopping freight trains and taking odd jobs as a ditch digger, boxer, and chain gang laborer in Georgia after being arrested for vagrancy. These experiences forged a toughness that translated effortlessly to his screen persona. Despite this rough upbringing, he nurtured an introspective side, writing poetry and working briefly as a ghostwriter for astrologer Carol Ryder. These early trials not only strengthened his character, but also gave him a depth that distinguished him from other actors, shaping the authenticity and emotional realism that would later make him a Hollywood legend. Hollywood beginnings. Mitchum's entrance into Hollywood was largely accidental. He began in small bit parts, primarily in westerns and minor films during the early 1940s, supporting his young family. Yet his natural charisma and calm, magnetic presence quickly caught the attention of casting directors. By 1945, he landed his first major break in The Story of G.I. Joe, earning an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. This recognition cemented his potential as a serious talent. Unlike many of his peers, Mitchum's rise was gradual, allowing him to cultivate a style that emphasized understatement, realism, and the kind of quiet intensity that would define his storied career. Master of film noir. In the late 1940s and 1950s, Mitchum became synonymous with film noir. He delivered unforgettable performances in Out of the Past, 1947, Crossfire, 1947, and The Big Steal, 1949, embodying the morally complex, world-weary heroes audiences loved. His deep voice, half-lidded eyes, and unhurried manner created a screen presence that demanded attention without shouting. Mitchum's characters were rarely perfect. They were flawed men navigating treacherous worlds, balancing right and wrong. In a genre built on cynicism and tension, Mitchum's authenticity and calm intensity made him an icon, influencing generations of actors and filmmakers who admired his subtle command of the screen and mastery of nuanced, understated storytelling. Versatility beyond noir. Though film noir made him famous, Mitchum demonstrated remarkable versatility. He took on roles in war films, westerns, thrillers, and romantic dramas, proving his ability to inhabit diverse characters. In The Night of the Hunter, 1955, he played the chilling Reverend Harry Powell, a false preacher with love and hate tattooed on his knuckles. His performance was both menacing and charismatic, showcasing a rare talent few actors possess. Mitchum further impressed audiences in Heaven Knows Mr. Allison, 1957, The Sundowners, 1960, and Cape Fear, 1962, alternating between heroic and villainous roles with ease, cementing his reputation as one of cinema's most compelling performers. Rebellion and Hollywood persona off-screen, Mitchum cultivated a reputation as Hollywood's rebel. Known for his dry wit and disdain for pretension, He often mocked celebrity culture, famously saying, "People think I have an interesting walk. Hell, I'm just trying to hold my gut in." His 1948 arrest for marijuana possession caused a scandal, but did little to damage his career. Instead, it reinforced his bad boy image, a man unafraid of authority and indifferent to public opinion. Mitchum represented authenticity in an industry often dominated by image, showing that a star could succeed without compromising his principles or polishing his persona to meet Hollywood's artificial standards. Mature roles and later career. As he aged, Mitchum transitioned into mature, nuanced roles, working with younger actors and new filmmakers. Films like Ryan's Daughter, 1970, Farewell, My Lovely, 1975, and The Friends of Eddie Coyle, 1973, showcased his quiet intensity, subtlety, and emotional depth. On television, he continued to impress in acclaimed miniseries such as The Winds of War, 1983, and War in Remembrance, 1988. Even in his later years, he retained the screen presence that had captivated audiences for decades, proving that his talent was not confined to youth. Mitchum's longevity in the industry reflected not only skill, but also a dedication to his craft that few could rival. Personal life and Dorothy Mitchum met Dorothy Spence in 1933 when he was 16 and she was 14. Their meeting at a swimming hole near Camden, Delaware sparked a lifelong bond. Dorothy became the anchor in Mitchum's tumultuous life, providing stability as he navigated the unpredictable world of Hollywood. They married and remained together for 57 years, weathering the ups and downs of his career. Their enduring partnership reflected Mitchum's value for authenticity and loyalty. Dorothy's presence gave him a grounding force that allowed him to fully embrace both his professional challenges and personal adventures, highlighting the human side of a man often defined by his on-screen toughness. Rivalry with George Peppard. Despite working with many actors over the years, Mitchum harbored a unique disdain for George Peppard. Unlike others, Mitchum's contempt was subtle, rooted in his belief in authenticity over performance. Peppard, in his eyes, represented arrogance and artificiality, someone more concerned with approval than substance. Their rivalry never erupted publicly. Mitchum's irritation was quiet but persistent. When asked about Peppard, Mitchum would simply smirk and say, "Yeah, I knew him." This understated acknowledgement reflected a deeper philosophical perspective. Mitchum valued the real, the flawed, and the genuine, and Peppard embodied the opposite. It was less personal animosity and more a clash of worldviews. Legacy in cinema. Mitchum's career spanned over 5 decades, leaving a lasting mark on Hollywood. He embodied the archetype of the anti-hero, the morally conflicted man, and the quiet force of presence on screen. His performances continue to inspire actors and filmmakers who admire his ability to convey complex emotion with subtlety and restraint. Beyond his skill, Mitchum's life story, his rebellion, authenticity, and philosophical approach to fame enhanced his mystique. He wasn't just an actor, he was a symbol of the balance between art and life, toughness and introspection, and reality and performance, making him one of cinema's most unforgettable figures. Death and reflection. A lifelong heavy smoker, Robert Mitchum passed away in his sleep at 5 a.m. on July 1st, 1997, in Santa Barbara, California, due to complications from lung cancer and emphysema. His death marked the end of an era but left behind an indelible legacy of films and performances. Mitchum's life was a testament to authenticity, resilience, and dedication to craft. His long marriage to Dorothy, his quiet disdain for phoniness, and his ability to inhabit complex characters ensured he remained more than just a star. He was a cultural touchstone, a man who embodied both the rough edges and reflective depth that make true legends unforgettable. Conclusion: the enduring presence of Robert Mitchum. Robert Mitchum's life and career remind us that true greatness in Hollywood comes not from conformity, but from authenticity. From a turbulent childhood to a life of cinematic achievement, he maintained a rare balance of toughness, charm, and introspection. His influence endures in the films he left behind and in the generations of actors inspired by his subtle mastery. Mitchum proved that the most compelling figures are those who remain true to themselves, embracing flaws, complexity, and humanity. Even decades after his passing, his quiet intensity and magnetic presence continue to captivate audiences worldwide.